Alexander Grischuk has just finished his game in a draw against Samuel Shankland. Sasha, do you think your opponent might be upset with the result of today's game?
No, of course. He drew with me. He cannot have any other feelings.
How do you evaluate his chances to qualify?
No, okay. I mean, it's most likely Andreykin doesn't win today, although it might happen, but it's given the position they have, it's a bit unlikely. And as a tiebreaks, it's basically 50-50. So, okay, so his chances right now are slightly less than 50 because Andreykin still might win.
This is the last time we meet here in the Grand Prix, so I had prepared some lifestyle questions to you that I would like to use the opportunity to ask. Have you spent a lot of time playing chess in the parks when you were young in Russia, in Moscow?
In parks?
In the parks, yeah. Did it happen to you when you were younger?
I think maybe never or once. Okay, we had, how to say, we had this yearly tournament called Вечерняя Москва. Also, it's Moscow Blitz Championship, and it was held in the park. So yeah, this one I was playing, but just, you know,
as a kid?
No, I mean at the скамейка.
Branches.
Yeah, it's just when you sit in a branch with a board. I cannot remember.
If it's not a secret, do you sometimes help your wife prepare for her games?
Yeah.
Is that a successful collaboration?
Sometimes, but it happens less often than you would think.
How closely do your kids follow your results?
Okay, not extremely closely, but usually they know. I mean, especially if the tournament has some significance and I'm fighting for something, then they usually know. But I mean, honestly, chess is a bit boring sport just to, you know, sit and watch for several hours. So they would prefer to watch some football or basketball. So, yeah.
Speaking of boring activities, what do you think about prearranged draws?
I think it's totally fine. I mean, for me, it's a huge difference between prearranged draw and prearranged win. I mean, prearranged win is a complete taboo, and yeah, and it's like the worst thing together with cheating. And prearranged draws, I don't see an issue with them, honestly. I mean, now there is, yeah, some sort of war against them, but I mean, maybe it will change, but it's a part of chess culture for a century at least, and maybe when my generation goes away and new generation takes over completely, maybe, you know, the culture will change. But I mean, I also don't see why. What's really an issue with them, especially if there is. I mean, I am a big proponent of knockout tournaments, and there it's not a problem at all, because even if people prearrange 1-1, then they still play the playoffs. And I mean, you cannot prearrange to the end. I mean, it's also completely pointless in knockout tournaments. So, yeah, that's my view.
Perhaps my final question, getting back to Belgrade, what do you think was the best game out of this whole, let's say, group stage, or game that you liked the most?
Okay. I really liked Predke's opening idea against Maxim Vachier-Lagrave when he was black. It's a very ingenious idea when you play rook c8 from a8, and then the very next move you play rook c8 to b8. It looks like white made a useful move, a4, but There is some really deep tactical ideas behind it. And speaking of the game, there were some games I liked. Okay. I mean, I really need to think if we have time for that.
Yeah, of course.
Report.
You can also say the candidates.
Yeah, but I don't see candidates. Actually, Andrikin played very well against me when he won, but I played extremely bad, so that doesn't count. And it seems like Rapport won some nice game, but I'm not sure which one. Okay, yesterday he won nice one against Vidit, but
He was in trouble at some point.
yeah, I thought there was some nicer game. Okay, I cannot remember.
It's not an issue. Sasha, thank you so much. It was a big pleasure for me to have a chance to interview here in Belgrade as well. Let me wish you a safe travel back home, and hopefully we'll meet soon again on other tournaments.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.